Alright, so we've got another great film this week, Toolbox Murders. So it's a 1978 American slasher film, and the only film to be directed by Dennis Donnelly. He just did a bunch of TV stuff after this. And there's a few famous people in this as well, such as Cameron Mitchell, who's just been in loads of stuff, and Pamela Ferdin, who was a famous child star and voice actor. So Stephen King says that this is one of his favourite films. It doesn't really mean much when you look at the films he's directly been a part of. And in 2004 there was a remake directed by Tobe Hooper, who you may remember from directing Death Trap, which we covered in episode 7. More commonly known though as Eaten Alive. Not to be confused, of course, with Eaten Alive, which we covered in episode 9. But anyway, Toolbox Murders. It's pretty good.
L-O-L-I-P-O-P spells lollipop.
So the film's quite unconventionally structured. For the first 15 minutes or so, we follow the killer around as he kills women with his toolkit, seemingly at random. He kills 4 women and then he kidnaps the 5th, and this is where the plot kicks in. We follow the brother of the kidnapped girl around as he tries to figure out where she is. We also follow the cops as they do much of the same. The killer is fantastic. He's revealed about halfway through the film and he's got some great monologues explaining why he's doing what he's doing. He's full of emotion and he comes across as completely insane. And then there's some brutal twists at the end, and the last 15 minutes are excellent.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
You hurt my baby. You hurt my Kathy.
Mother was an infidel. You're a heathen. You're a heathen. I'll see after you. The Bible says, if one of thy members offend thee, cut it off. Cut it off!
This is one hell of a grimy film. Everything's oozing with dirt and sleaze. All the kills are quite naturalistic and not too overplayed, and it's very dark. Can make it a little difficult to see what's happening now and then, but if anything it just adds to this uncomfortable atmosphere. It kind of reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The acting's not too bad either. There's the odd line here and there that's a bit weird, but outside of that it's fine, and the music is fantastic. A lot of it's diegetic, and it uses a lot of country music, which kind of adds this weird juxtaposition in some of the more brutal scenes. And I absolutely love that every now and then the killer will hum along to the music, just making him even more sinister.
Think fast!
Thanks.
So this is one of the infamously banned video nasty films which the case loves to bang on about. But honestly, outside of a couple of brutal killings, it's a pretty tame film, and you see a hell of a lot worse on TV nowadays. If it was released nowadays, it'd probably pass with a 15 certificate. I guess it just feels a lot worse than it is because of the quality of the film. Also, it says at the end that this is based on true events, but I've looked this up and I can't really see anything about it. So if it is, it's very loose. The release isn't amazing. It's weirdly stretched and quite blurry and can get really dark at points, but it kind of adds to the grimy aesthetic really. The music quality is fine, which is great because the soundtrack's great. And we get nothing new on the disc. We barely get anything on the disc. Chapter select, a gallery, and a few repeated trailers. And let's have a look at the case. It's pretty good, sells the film well, and of course bangs on a lot about how this film was banned. Now I've had to censor one of the images. I mean, I could probably get away with showing it, but it is extremely close to nudity, so best not to. The title just says Toolbox Murders, but this film should be The Toolbox Murders. Just Toolbox Murders is the name of the remake. Guess it's just there to confuse people, eh? We get no logo at the beginning this time, just a warning and then straight into the cheap looking menu. Overall then, this was a great watch, a lot of fun and a must see for fans of Texas Chainsaw. Although I would avoid it if you're a little squeamish around things like violence and rape. If you're looking for the upgrade, 88 Films have got you covered with a Blu-ray, and in this instance, I probably recommend it. I do have the receipt for the film here. 50p from CEX. Honestly, if you saw this for 50p, it's probably worth grabbing. Although, £4 for Spookies, that is not worth that. Don't spend £4 on Spookies. You'll regret spending £4 on Spookies. Anyway, good film this week, and let's hope we can keep it up next week. I think we've got another anthology film next week. We've not had one of them since the very first episode, so looking forward to this one. So we're going to be checking out Vault of Horror on Screamtime. I wonder if there's a film called Screamtime on the Vipco Vault of Horror collection.